you are a creative, you are an artist with a lot going on. In fact, I had a quick look because I had to remind myself, and it was a little over a year ago, June 30th last year, actually, that the last time I wrote something about you musically. Of course, it was Panta Rhei. I think am I saying the last word right? Ray? Right?
It's subjective, man. Some people say Panta Rhei, but yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's a weird phrase. So not
Well, of
one of those ones
course,
you just chuck off the tongue. So
no, absolutely. But of course, that's a year-old album now. When you reflect on that period of time from now till then, ultimately, dust has well and truly settled on it. Are you happy with how that album was received?
I think I will say no, my friend.
Mhm.
What the reason why is I sort of invested in a bit of a PR campaign, which I haven't done for a while, and I was kind of let down by the company in a lot of areas. And with all due respect to them, I actually got more coverage than they did. So no on that front, but yes, in terms of the reviews and all, I think there was only one negative review, and that was like a 5 out of 10. You know what I mean? And the guy kept going on about issues with the pandemic and this, that, and the other, and not quite grasping what I was trying to convey. So hey, whatever. But you gave it a fantastic review, man. I really appreciate that. So thank you for A, listening to it, B, tolerating it, and C, giving it a lovely review, man. Thank you so much for that.
A negative review here and there does no harm, right? I mean, ultimately, I guess the hope is that at least it's going to be constructive, or at least you can take something from it. And ultimately, because it's all subjective.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally get that. I think what I find weird, and I've been doing this a long time now, man. I've gosh, tons of reviews for tons of projects and all. I find it weird when there's just a lot of tangential nonsense, which is irrelevant to the music or the
Mm.
product or what it is it's trying to say. And I find it kind of hard to stomach that when someone just goes, "Oh, is a lower rated thing because of whatever," and I'm like, well, you didn't really get it, which is fair enough. That's subjective in itself. But when you start talking about the music in just weird ways, I find that a bit weird. But hey, but again, as a reviews, yeah, as you say, it's completely subjective, and I have no problem with bad press, man, because technically, all press is good press. So I've been
So they
told.
say. Yep, so they do say, and I do understand it to a degree, particularly as you know, obviously trying to contact many outlets yourself and stuff like that, even getting response or getting coverage is one of the hardest things. The space is already quite small, and trying to get your voice heard is a little bit of a nightmare. Do you have a strategy for that?
No,
Mm,
no, I don't, my man. No, no, I kind of I've tried the full-on PR campaigns with big companies, medium-sized companies, small companies. I've tried doing it myself. It's just kind of I do as much as I feel is I can, without having to either shell out a lot of money or going a little bit insane, doing it because it's so difficult. And I get it now, even more so with like the advent of TikTok and so on and stuff like that. People want content, and damn, I'm a mid-40s man who just likes to chill out and make bleepy noises sometimes. So creating all this constant content is so. I'm just like I'm so over it already. So I basically decided maybe a month ago that I was just like, you know what, I will post whatever I can when I can. I'll do what PR I can when I can. I just concentrate on playing music and having fun with the music again because I kind of maybe forgot that was the purpose of the exercise. So
So you've okayed it in your head to kind of to just step back from that. Basically, here's something I've got to do, and I need to go to 5 or 6 different social media sites and put up posts and then follow content for the next month.
that, yeah, that's a given, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much, do little posts, do some videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know whether I give it as much credence as I perhaps used to. And I think that's maybe what kind of led to the last album being not as widely spread as I hoped, or like, on previous
Mm.
albums and stuff like that. So again, it's all in the trying, I suppose. But as I say, I'm too old and cantankerous to be able to deal with that crap. So
whether does this partially come from your own personal experiences regarding social media? Because of course you've got a personal social media presence and a professional social media presence when you're trying to progress your music, the professional side and your own personal side. Do you avoid it, or are you active on your personal side?
Yeah, I think I'm more active with friends and family on that side of things. I do try to promote my projects. I mean, gosh, I've got multiple projects doing different styles of music and all, and it is kind of difficult to keep up at times. But I think how I deal with that is just like dealing with album cycles or how I'm feeling at the time. You know, I'd be like, oh, I want to write a drum and bass song. Cool, I'll go off and do my other projects and write some drum and bass. You know, whatever. You know, I want to play some heavy metal. Let's come back and do Oceanica. But yeah, dealing with multiple social media sites can be a pain. But again, it goes back to the thing about just creating content and all. I just like, here's some music. If you guys want to like it, great. If you share it, that's cool as well. Ultimately, I'm doing it all for myself anyway because I'm a selfish prick. So,
so you mentioned lots of spinning plates. If you can, and I guess keep it as concise as you so want to, what is the picture now, the grand picture around you right now musically? What of all these projects?
They all have their own life. Oh, to be honest, man, that's the thing. Just like when you're spinning these plates, for one of a better metaphor or term or whatever, each of them has a very specific market, seemingly quite a specific fan who will like that sort of stuff. And also, yeah, it's just a different thing. Like, I enjoy it. I enjoy it massively. I can't deal with it just doing one style of music. I've always been a fan of lots of different styles of music. I appreciate you did say keep this concise, but sorry about that.
No, it's more for yourself, because I normally when I
Yeah.
ask a broad question like that, it can be quite a challenge to even answer it because it is such a broad question.
Yeah. I deal with each project as it comes. You know, I really have become just like, what do I want to do? What am I trying to achieve with this project? What do I want to do with this one? Like with Oceanica, you know, I only released Panta Rhei last year. That album took me 3 years to, you know, get sorted. Yet, you know, as soon as I fit, well, as well as mixing Panta Rhei, I was just like, hey, boom, I really want to do this post metal thing. So I just did that. I'm more of a flight of fancy sort of guy. I'll just go with like whatever I want to do.
You kind of wake up, you think, I want to do this today.
Pretty much, man. And I guess I'm in that, what, you know, middle class white privileged position where I can just be like, hey, I can sit in my you know, overly expensive laptop and just tinker around going jingle 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 on my keyboards of doom and see what I decide to come out with, man. I think that's literally my life, man. And yeah, I'm stoked, to be honest.
Glad you are. It's good to hear. Of course, you contacted me when we arranged this interview to talk, and you've not told me much about this, really. You've got something new in the works. Roughly 21-minute single track. I guess I want to pick your brains a little bit about it. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on?
Yeah, so during the mixing phase of Panta Rhei last year, I was sick of the record by then because it'd been a long time building. It's probably the longest time I've spent on a record, and that was because, well, pandemic and life, and you know, and all it entails. Really. But while I was mixing it, I was just like, I need to be creative as well because I hate mixing and I hate mastering. To be honest, it's just frustrating with my own stuff. With client stuff, I can deal with it because it's a job, but my own stuff, I'm just like, oh my days, what am I doing? So during that phase, I was like, what do I want to do next? And I was just like, dicking around on my 7-string. I was just like, well, I was waiting for something to render out. And I thought of a riff. And I was like, that's fun. That's a fun riff. And I was just like, okay. And then you come up with the next part. And I'm like, oh no, here we go. I'm going to do a post-metal album. Okay, let's do a post-metal album. Just keep it all fairly slow, chuggy, but expansive. And that was literally it, man. It was just, again, one of those sort of, hey, something happened. And I went, oh, no, I can already see it in my mind's eye. And that was it, man, from there.
How do we get from there to this point, though?
Gosh, so I wrote a body of music, this just all these pieces, and I just flowed rather than look at them as individual songs. I sort of just went, I'm going to write a piece. I'll get to a point. Okay, I've gone to the highest point of the crescendo that I can possibly get. I need to bring it back down. I was like, okay, so I'll bring it back down. The next peak comes on, and then it's all peaks and troughs. It's 21 minutes of peaks and troughs. Is the new record, I'd say, and it was a flow of consciousness in the sense that I just let what I thought flow into another bit, and eventually I got to the point I was just like 21 minutes. That's a cool length, and I'm like, does that end riff right at the end of that 21 minutes make me want to stop? And I went, that final chord, I went, yes, I think I'm done. I think that's it.
You said post metal. Is it as simple as that genre term? Because of course, ultimately, there's an argument to say that you're quite an eclectic artist. As you said, you never like to do what you want, and that often bleeds into different projects, and so on. So to hear you just use just two terms, just two words to sum it up, I almost don't quite believe it.
Yeah, you know me well, sir. I guess I did my best to stick to it. There is a little bits of divergence, for want of a better term, in which, you know, people can make of it what they will, and I know that people will. I think I called it I like a post metal sort of thing, because a lot of the post metal that I sort of like is that slow build dynamic into the crushing, have some of that riff, and then goes back down again, so on and so forth. You know, I like those sort of bands and I like those artists. So honestly, now you've questioned it, I go, well, I don't know really what to call it other than post metal, I guess. It's got that slow, chunky groove, and there's lots going on. But if people can call it what I want, I don't think it's progressive metal. I don't think it's too widdly enough. But then again, there's a lot of widdly enough in it going on. Oh, I don't know anymore, Carl. Oh,
Leave it up to the reviewers and the people that listen to decide, I think, in that regard.
Amen, sir.
The big question is, when are we going to see this? When are we going to hear it?
I'm hoping by the end of the year. Yeah, I'm gonna put some effort into it. I'm having the master is being done by a guy called Alan Douches. He's a Grammy Award winning engineer. He's done loads of stuff from Converge. People can Google him, but he's done a lot of really good stuff. This sort of marks a bit of a, oh my God, he's letting it go sort of vibe for me, in the sense that I usually do everything myself because A, budget, B, I know how I want it to sound. But this time I was like, you know what? I think the mix sounds banging. It's heavy as hell. It's clear as heck. But I want to see what someone else puts on it from a mastering sense. And I was like, I've always wanted to work with Alan. He's a great engineer. Yeah, he's worked on so many records that I love. And I was just like, it's kind of a given. And the other thing with this is that when we had a little chat, Alan was just like, hey, man, do you want to do a Dolby Atmos multi-channel on this? And I went, excuse me, baking powder? He went, yeah, we'll do a Dolby Atmos and an Apple Spatial. We'll have it in like 18:1:2 surround sound. And I just went, okay, cool. And he was just like, I really like the music, Ben. So yeah, we'll call it this price. And I went, oh my God, yes, please. We'll have some of that. Yeah, so that's what I'm waiting for, is the multi-channel masters, do a PR campaign, and then it will get in your ears. I'll get you a copy as soon as I can, man, I promise. So.
No, I'm just interested because, truth be told, normally when I plan an interview with any artist or creative, I have a little more to go on. So I was quite intrigued with the challenge of being like, right, I don't have much to go on here, so I'm going to keep picking your brains. And you haven't got to obviously answer these if you don't want to, because you obviously have a release coming at some point this year, and you're going to want to do a campaign and building it and so on. But do you have any titles yet?
Yeah, it's called Try Not to Dwell on It.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's you must have come across it at some point, someone saying to you, I'll try not to dwell on it. when you're clearly having some sort of massive fucking crisis or some shit's going on. And you always got that person who, I think, and I could get this wrong, it's like, I don't think they're just being a horrible person. I just don't think they know how to handle the situation. And it kind of just stuck with me. Someone said it to me in a particular situation, and I just went, yeah, I get it. You know, I'll try not to dwell on it. Whatever horrible shit you're going on. I'm like, well, I am, and I will, because there's a lot going on. And that sort of, it stuck to me as a title. And then I just kind of went, this is sending me on a complete lyrical journey now. I'm just like, you know, just insight into how humans handle things in certain things and the human condition and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's called Try Not to Dwell on It. There's a little insight into the concept of it. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out, man. It sounds pretty banging. So
well, I'm glad that you think that. Yeah, of course, I've heard that term. I've heard that term, and I agree with what you say there. I don't necessarily think it comes from a bad place. I think it comes from a I don't really know what to do place. And these are semi words of comfort. I almost wonder if those sort of words spill out of people's mouths. You know, you're stressing, and someone says, "Oh, don't stress." It's like, yeah, that helped. Thanks.
Yeah. No, 100% agree. It's just one of those things, like, as well, like, you know, you hurt yourself and you go, "Oh, you're right," and you go, "Well, clearly not." I stood on some Lego. It hurts.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's Yeah. Go on. Sorry, man.
well, I was just going to go pick up what you were kind of saying about how the lyrics flowed from there. So you know, you had you have this inspiration, the human condition, the human mind. Did it all come quite easily then, those words and what you wanted to say and how you wanted to approach them?
In a way, I think what really helped was when I got over myself, in the sense that I was like, I don't want to really sing on this record, because everything I tried, I was like, I don't really vibe with it. I tried the screaming attack, you know, the sort of post-metal screaming thing. I tried the big clean vocal thing. I just went, I don't think my voice is right for this. I can support someone who's got a good voice in what I'm looking for. So basically, I found a vocalist to sing all the main parts, and I'm sort of backing her up and all. And once I sent her some lyrics, and she sent me a thing back, and I just went, "This is it. This is exactly what I want." And I just went, and it all just flowed out, and I just sent it to her, and yeah, it just sort of absolutely rolled from there, man. So yeah, I think it's one of those sort of, this little floodgate came and just broke open once that person sent me back something that I needed to hear, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So
I love it when that happens, when, you know, it does, just as you say, floodgate opens and it just pours out and it's boom, and you can do something that sometimes could have taken you hours in 10 minutes because you're just on a roll.
Yeah, as I say, you know, I spent time writing my own vocals. I was just like, you know, I usually do that, and I was trying some things. I was just like, it's just not floating it for me. You know, it's just not what I wanted. And then I was just like, I know so many vocalists, and I was just like, okay, I know a particular vocalist, and I was just like, I know her voice is great. I've worked with her before on other, like, more commercial projects. I was just like, I reckon you'd sound good on this. Of course, she was skeptical. But, you know, just one of those things is just like, try it, please try it. I'll write everything for you. I'll write all the vocals for you. I'll write all the harmonies. I'll write everything. You just got to give me that voice, you know, sort of, you know, Ariel from bloody Little Mermaid sort of shit going on, you know what I mean? But weird reference, sorry. But yeah, absolutely just blew me away. And yeah, that was that for now. Yeah.
Well, who is it?
I can't say, man.
So, you can't say? Okay, no worries. I did wonder why you were dancing for the name, but fair enough.
Yeah,
you can't say, no worries.
No, I'm not allowed to say.
Totally fine.
I really want to expand on this, but I think we'll have another chat with it once you hear the album, mate. And then I'll explain a few things around it. But for this time, we'll just hype everything, if that's all right.
Nah, fantastic. It's great to hear you got a great voice for it. What was overall, like, the entire process, what was the most creatively challenging part for you?
Capturing those sounds that I heard in my head
Mm.
through whatever means that I could. I'm, you know, this is my job. I'm a sound designer. That's literally what I do. But sometimes you try things and you try things and you try things, and just like synths aren't working. Some sort of destruction of sound is not working, and I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I trying to do? And it was again one of those moments of like, oh, you fucking what? You know, realizations. I was watching a Tool video, and it's like the making of something, and they were basically capturing like feedback positions. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I've remember doing that before and other stuff, but let's go in and try and do it myself. And it was sort of that moment that I started again, similar to the vocal thing. You know, it was just like, okay, this makes perfect sense now. I'm creating my own sound design through feedback, layered synths, putting it into my synth, and then playing it on my keyboard, things like that. And it's just like, yeah, realization, things flowed from there. I think the drums were difficult. I don't pretend to be the greatest drummer in the world, but I wanted this record to be a bit more raw in the sense. So, I mean, the production sounds great. My friend Gary did a really good job on helping me capture it, but yeah, I don't know. It's all subjective.
Well, so you're at this stage, so clearly a lot's gone well, and you do appear to be quite enthusiastic about this. While this is all going on, are you doing other stuff, I presume? Are you kind of just chilling out at the moment?
No, always busy, my friend.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of film projects I'm doing sound design for. They're pretty big projects, which I'm really stoked for. So alongside my day job, you know, I try to keep my hand in with any jobs that anyone needs, because I love my job. I love my day job. It's a new job, but I'm still loving it. But you know, never satisfied. Want to keep my hand in doing the films or keep doing the TV sort of stuff. Alongside that, I'm playing drums in a death metal band, which is great fun. We're about to do some recording for that, so I'll send you that when it's done, man. That's good fun because everyone loves blast beats, right? I mean,
Yeah, of course.
you know.
What's the name of the band?
Okay, this is no one's heard this yet, but we're calling ourselves Life Swallower. So there is a reason for it, but yeah. So it's we're a four-piece sort of based out of Brighton at the moment.
Yeah.
I live in Manchester now, but we are working it out. We're not breaking up yet, thankfully. Yeah, but again, I'm looking forward to doing that, man. We just got a really cool vocalist to come in and do his thing, and it's just sounding fun and hench, and it keeps me how do I put this? Keeps me in check with my drumming as well, because I'm just like, I've got to be on it with these guys. There's no dicking around, you know. I'm just like metronome, get that precision going. So yeah, doing that, my man. So yeah, the film, the day job, Oceanica. I don't know. I'll come up with something ridiculous that I want to do next. I might just do a complete overt pop album or something and get a bunch of singers to come in and do that instead. So
Whatever takes your fancy, I'm sure it'll be killer nonetheless. Can't wait to hear Live Swallower in the future, and certainly cannot wait to hear Don't Dwell on It when that comes, hopefully later this year. Ben, we're going to jump to a different section of the interview now. This is Ozzy Osbourne, and in his head, I'll randomize cards of everything and everything. Everything and anything. That have also includes a ton of submissions by bands and artists that we've spoken to over the years. I'm going to pull some out random to get to know you a bit better, basically.
Love this. I'm going to take you for a wander around my flat while I do this, because I'm completely unprofessional, and I have a cider in my fridge, which I'd like to drink while you're talking to me, if that's okay.
Yeah, no worries. All right, well, this is an easy one to start with then. Late nights or early mornings? What kind of guy are you?
Late nights all the way. Yeah, no, I get my best work done when there's no one around to fuck my shit up.
Yeah.
So
How
yeah.
late is late?
Oh, all the way through. The birds will be singing again before I'll be like, right, I should probably go to bed. Otherwise, there's no point. I mean, plus, come on, you know, much like yourself, a bit of a rock and roll guy. You know, we're used to our late nights and partying, so you know, maybe.
Yeah. All right, this one. What is a good Stephen King book to movie adaptation? This is if you've seen them, some. It's a book to movie
Yeah,
adaptation.
I mean, I love it. There's no doubt
Hmm.
about that. I thought that was always good, and there's always the big discussion about what's better, the original TV movie or the recent remake. But I like both for what they are, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Stand. Did you enjoy? Did you enjoy The Stand
I
in
think
any
The
way, shape,
Stand
or
is one of
form?
the most underrated, obviously it's a four-part TV movie, but like it's so underrated. Like I love the book and I thought to even be able to turn it into like a
Yeah,
film was damn impossible. So I love
that's
it. I'm
fair.
a big fan of it.
No, that's fair. That would have probably come in second for me. I mean, but then we're chucking in like awful things like the Langoliers or Langoliers or whatever you want to call it, which is wonderfully 80s or 70s. I don't know when it came out now. Gosh, would it have been in the 80s?
I
Yeah,
think it's
maybe.
actually early 90s or late, either like 89 or
Really?
91. For some reason, 89, 91 rings a
Really?
bell. I'm probably wrong, and it is in like mid 1975 or something, but just for some
So,
reason, it triggers it.
but I remember the incredible graphics and stuff in that.
Oh,
You
the
know, when I say
meatballs.
yes,
Yeah, the flying meatballs. Yes.
you got it. Still fun times.
1995, even later,
Really? No
1995.
way.
That's
Oh
bad.
my days. Yeah, that's not aged well, is it? I don't think. Anyway, we do what we can and what budgets we've got, I suppose.
Of course, of course, of course. All right, then. What is something you just find so boring, but others tend to love?
TV. TV
TV.
generally, mate. Yeah. I don't really watch
Elaborate
TV.
on that.
I okay, maybe sort of the mainstream TV or the big shows, all the horrible Love Island and
Okay.
Leper Colony or whatever the new show is called. I don't know. Boat in the Atlantic, starring fucking I don't know some actress
Don't
who
give
was
people
on Love
ideas.
Island once. Yeah, exactly. You get the idea. Maybe it's if I want to drill down, it'll probably be that. But then I have an irrational hatred for that. But yeah, I think TV generally. I don't know. I just prefer to be creative. I always do something creative, I guess. But that's just me. And yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna pick your brains a little bit more on that. Give me a TV show that you have watched either completely or most of that you did think, okay, you know what, that was pretty damn good.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Okay, my man. Yeah, no, that's fair. What did I really enjoy? I really recommend a TV show. You talking about like a sequential series or just any show or anything like that or
Let's say anything. Let's not overcomplicate it.
anything? Yeah, okay, man. I don't know. I really enjoyed Bo Burnham's Inside,
Okay.
which I've watched maybe 5 times now, with various people and stuff like that. Because I'm like, this is good to watch. It's a really good journey into the human condition, and also someone clearly having a bit of mental breakdown. But here he is writing songs for us, and bless him for it.
Yeah. Okay then. Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Backstreet Boys, and that's only because I
Yeah.
love Justin. I'm a fan of Justin Timberlake. That's the problem, and I was very sad with the whole drink driving thing recently. Yeah, the wife reminded me of it. And she was just like, "Well, you're a hero. He's got done for drunk driving." Ben, I'm just like, "Hey, he's not my hero. I just kind of like his songs." So yeah, so that would be my choice. But Backstreet's Back, all right.
Yeah.
You gotta love that. That's a great video.
It's something. All right. What does the word comfort mean to you?
Mm. Oh damn, that's a good one. I mean, if I'm talking about literally, it'd probably be a cat. uh,
Cat.
a friendly cat who sat on my lap, purring away. That's quite comforting, I suppose.
Do you have any
Yeah,
cats?
I do. Not in my current abode. No, I'm not allowed any. But I have lots of friends who do have cats, so I do try to get as much cat time as I can. So
We've got two of them hanging around here somewhere. They've just eaten, so I think they've gone back to sleep.
Awesome. No, are they friendly?
Oh yeah, 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 for sure. Too friendly. That's the problem. Little
Climbing across
kids.
your keyboard when you're trying to do stuff, and
Yeah, that's it. Okay, do you collect anything?
the skulls on my enemies. No, I don't know. I guess I have a penchant for guitars,
Yep.
but they
How many
usually
do you
always.
have?
At the moment, I'm at a world record low of 6. I
That's
did have
still
20.
a lot.
I did have 20 something at one point. But yeah, different tools for different jobs, my friends. So yeah, I don't know. What do I collect? I don't know. I could probably collect more weights with every week, but no, that's about it, buddy. Yeah, guitars, I'd say. Not very
No,
interesting, I
fair.
realize. Hearing that back to myself.
You're a musician. There's always going to be some music related. Okay, you're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Who is your phone a friend? So obviously it's got to be someone super smart in your life.
I don't know about. I think it's more like someone who knows a lot about everything, if that makes sense. Maybe a little about everything. I would probably choose my friend Paul Barrett. He was my old jazz guitar teacher. So and he's like one of my best mates. But he's just an annoyingly insightful and well-knowledged, well-traveled jazz bummer. So I would probably choose Paul. Yes, I hope I will share this with him. Hopefully, at some point, I'll be like, Paul, there you go. There's my attempt at love for you, my man. So yeah, he would win me. He'd win me the million as a result, easily. So.
That good. Oh, amazing. Okay, what is an overrated tourist attraction?
I don't know. Buckingham Palace.
I mean,
I guess.
it is. It's always busy right now, and you just stand. I mean, I suppose if you get there and it's changing of the guard, that's something, right? I mean,
Yeah, I get it. I suppose it depends if you're a royalist or whatever.
yeah.
And I get people from other countries have a way more in I don't know investment in that sort of thing. But for me, I was just like, oh, what a lovely house. That was it. And I went, can we go and eat now, please?
Okay, then. The best Disney film song. What is it?
Did you just say soul?
No, song. What best
Oh,
Disney
song.
song?
I thought it was one of those sort of like, what's the best Disney film? Soul. And like, oh,
No,
okay, sure it
no,
is.
no. No,
Oh,
best
Disney
Disney song, so
song.
across everything.
Oh, I'm gonna go for Aladdin. Robin Williams. Robin Williams? Yeah, Robin Williams, not Robbie Williams, sorry.
A bit different.
Yeah, you're right. I forget the title now, but it's the Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me. Is that what
I
it's
think
called?
ain't never had. I think that is probably what it's called. Ain't never had a friend like me. Well, yeah, I mean it probably is called that. Yeah, but it's a peppy one.
Baba had those 40 thieves. I
That's it.
mean, what a great character and what an actor that boy was. Yeah, yeah. For me, it's very joyous. It's very silly, and it's got some great lyrics in there. So yeah, I think that'd be my choice.
The choice. Do you enjoy sports? Taking part or even just as a spectator? And I say this as the time we're recording in, oh God, 2-ish hours. The English are playing in the semi-final of Euro 2024.
I am indeed. I enjoy sports. I've played sports. I wouldn't say I play any now because I've got no one to play them with, really, who aren't complete masochistic mentalists who need to be running around all the time. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So yeah, I like the soccer. Thank you for asking, Carl. I love soccer. It's a great game. So yes, I'll be watching the England lose to Orange tonight. As much as my Dutch friends have already been messaging me going, "You're going down, Slag," and all that sort of stuff. Trying to mimic my unique Cornish meets Portsmouth accent, and they're just like, "Yeah, you're going down." So yes, I do watch. Yeah, I watch football, man. I'd say I sort of follow it. Do you support a team or anything, or are you
No,
not
no,
that
not at
bothered?
all. Not bothered in the slightest. Aside from just,
Uh,
yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but God, I hope
no,
they
no.
lose tonight. I'm not English, and that's something most people don't know
Oh,
about me. But
apologies.
also, I despise football so much that, and what aside from, I support everybody's love because I'm passionate for it to a point. Because hell, I'm
Okay,
passionate about things, and if it does it for you, who am I to knock that? Absolutely not that. But
fair
God
play.
Almighty, do you make a lot of noise and get in my way and ruin pubs and shops and everything. But
That
that's
I
just me being a cranky old man.
no, I can agree with that. Maybe I don't like the sport fan. Maybe I don't mind the sports. I suppose. Don't get me wrong. I think they're all overpaid, self-entitled little children. But hey, maybe I'm just jealous. I can't waddle around a football pitch as good as what they can. So
We've all got our things. Okay, considering your varied location and place in this country, this is always a good one because it kind of sums up where people are from. What goes on chips?
more chips.
More chips, chips on chips.
Double chips, Carl. Double. No, if I had a choice, I don't know, ketchup.
Okay, ketchup. All right, yeah, okay.
But not just any
What is it?
ketchup. It's got to be Heinz, mate. No dicking around with this any other brand. It's just Heinz. Sorry. I'll get off my.
What? No, I just specifically Heinz. You couldn't just a Tesco own brand. That one not good enough.
No. It just doesn't work for me, my man. I think I've become this sort of like, oh my god, if it's not Heinz ketchup, I just can't deal with it. And like, you go to a restaurant or something, and you go, oh, can I have a bit of ketchup in my burger? And they bring out the thing, you try it, and you're like, oh, disappointing. It's just not going to work for me. Yeah, I don't know. I've become that guy. I think it's probably like all the the crack that Heinz put in their delicious tomato-based sauce. Yeah, I've got a problem with that now, man. So sorry about that. Yeah, but there you go.
No, no. Knock yourself out. I have no favoritism on anything really, but where do you stand on like the variety of what can go on chips? Because the question's asked because across this country you get very different answers depending upon where
Oh
you come
yeah,
from sometimes. Are you
that's
cool
true.
with mayo going on chips? Are you cool with curry sauce like that?
Mm.
Or is it
I think
anything?
yeah, I am. I love them all. The wife likes mayo, but we know people up here in Manchester that they're just like, oh yeah, gravy. Oh yeah,
Mm.
But like you say, the aforementioned curry sauce, nice. You got the barbecue sauce or fiends. You got the Thousand Island dressing guys and girls. I don't know. It's difficult, man, isn't it? But yeah, each to their own. Whatever you want to put on your chips. Oh, cheese. Oh, cheesy chips. Oh, all this food is just talk food is just making me hungry now. Oh
Oh, I've got
dear.
two more for you then, and then
Oh,
we'll
it's all
call
good.
it.
Oh,
All
sure.
right, for you, who embodies the rock star term?
Oh, dear. What does that even mean, really? Are we talking about the negative
The
side of
larger
it?
than, no, I'd say
Oh, larger than
from a
life.
positive angle, the larger than life. If you said someone said to you, draw a picture of a rock star, you'd think of this person, perhaps.
I'd probably go for Lemmy. I think he
Everyone
always
goes for Lemmy.
came across as a nice guy, very open-minded, but that guy could he just I don't know. He just kind of Rockstar sort of dribbled out of his veins, I think,
Hmm.
sort of like out of his pores and stuff. For me, anyway. I couldn't think of anyone else that really does it, really. No,
Everyone
yeah, it'd
says
be
him.
Lemmy.
Everyone says him.
Yeah, fair. Long missed, but what a dude.
Yeah, it is a reason why I've been saying him. Okay, last one then. This is what is a fun, an emphasis on the word fun, conspiracy theory that you could be convinced is true.
Oh, I could be convinced it's true. Oh, don't. Um, I'd love to hear some arguments on what I'm supposed to be convinced of first, because I don't know. I've got a pretty good bullshit detector. So when it starts ringing, and I'm just like, no, not having any of that. No, no, no. So I haven't got one, to be honest, buddy. But I'm all for hearing the hearing one. Do you have one that you could, summon for me that I could, you could try and convince me of? Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the answers previous when that question's come up in the past. Someone said they could be convinced, like they were at pains to say that no way they could believe it really, but on the fun side of things, the idea that birds aren't real and they're just spying devices, which is obviously so silly and so funny that I get
like
that.
Oh, I like that one. I like that one. Yeah, that's interesting. If you wanted to go really off piste, then yeah, I sure could come up with something abstract and random. But yeah, no, that just wins. Now I'm just looking out the window at all the spying devices, like checking me out, and I'm just gonna. Oops.
Yeah, all those pigeons in Trafalgar Square, mate. They're watching you. They're watching you. Okay, so basically now it's simply a matter of keeping attached to your socials, paying attention to what you're doing online as we build towards this release later in the year. Obviously, anybody can do that. You're across all the usual social media platforms, as you would expect, and as active as you so want to be, as you can be so bothered to be. But it's exciting and great to hear that that things are happening. Things have already happened, and we're just waiting to get to the point where we can all hear and enjoy those things, and that they will continue to happen going forward. You're a busy man. I appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this, Ben.
Thank you very much for your time. All the best. I really hope you enjoy the new record. When it comes out, I'll send you bribes.
Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.